Like it.
Hey, what's up, everyone? Welcome to Upbeat TV. Thanks for tuning in. I'm Mike Hall.
And I'm Lavish Liam.
And today we've got a super special guest with us. He's got over 6 million views on YouTube. His recent Kia Boys documentary has been featured on the news. You may have seen him in the trenches on the north side. You may have seen him in O Block in Chicago. You may have seen him in Skid Row. But today he's here on our podcast. So please welcome Tommy G.
Hey. I'm happy to be here, fellas. Thank you for the invitation.
Yo, Tommy G. So the first question I got for you just off the bat is, what's it like where you're from, bro? Where are you from?
I'm from the most white bread, middle class, suburbia place in the world, Crystal Lake, Illinois.
Nice.
There was probably one person with a pistol in the entire town of like 40,000. It was a very nice, pleasant childhood. We were able to just run free, like run into the woods, run into the pond. There was people that built tree forts, and we would pee from the top of it or catch snapping turtles. It was a very nice childhood. No struggle. It was good.
Nice. And so what brought you to Milwaukee then, from that beautiful place to a place like this?
Yes. So I got a few offers to wrestle at different colleges. I went to Whitewater, Wisconsin, and then when I was coming out of Whitewater, I had offers in Madison and Milwaukee. Because believe it or not, I was in the corporate world for almost 6 years, wearing a monkey suit with a tie and a coat jacket, and then my first job was working in the trenches in Milwaukee. So I was pulling up in a suit to places in 53206, 212, 218, and people would I would be able to help. I was a small business consultant, like a payroll consultant.
Nice.
And so it was a lot of fun, but also I had times where I pulled up to places and they thought I was the FBI, and it was like, oh God, no, just Tom from Paychex.
Do you have a crazy story just to give us a little window into...
Let's see. I would say, like, one time I showed up to a car dealership, and it was right off of Green Bay. And so I show up, and a bunch of dudes see me, and they start peeling out. And I'm just like, I just have my hands on the steering wheel. I'm just either I pull away, I never come back because I look like the biggest bitch in the world, or I go out and I don't know if I'm gonna die. I think about it for a second. I'm like, all right, let's go. And I just went out there, and once I let them know who I was, people got a lot more comfortable. But it's never like. I don't ever carry. I shouldn't probably say this. I don't ever carry weapons on me. I try and be an optimist and a pacifist.
You got them hands. You don't need weapons, Tommy.
Right, and even that is the last
skills.
case scenario. I haven't been in a street fight since I was like 12 years old, and I don't plan on getting one. Hopefully to the day I die. You know.
Yeah, man. I roll that way too, man. I'm a pacifist. But so like anyways, what's like some of your favorite things about the city of Milwaukee since you've gotten here?
Well, I love how they integrate woods into the city. Like, there's a lot of places where you go 3 minutes from a house and all of a sudden you're in the woods. I love that. I love the big hills that right by Lakefront Brewery where you oversee the city. I like the energy of the people. Midwest people are hard to beat, dude. A lot of really kind people.
Super
and I also,
genuine.
Yes.
Genuine energy.
And Milwaukee is a great place to invest in right now because it's cheap. And it's also a great place. I think it's a good central point to make moves. And I love the jiu-jitsu and fight community here. There's a lot of great gyms here, a lot of tough kids.
Yeah, man.
Do you have a favorite food spot?
Ooh, yes. Cafe Centro is a wonderful Italian place right off of Center Street. And I've gone there for engagement. I've gone there for big things that are happening in my life. And, they make beautiful Italian food. Highly recommend.
Right on.
Nice, man. So, transitioning from that.
Yeah.
What you want to talk about?
I kind of want to talk about the Kia Boys, honestly.
Of course.
I think a lot of people want to hear about the
Boys.
Kia Boys, and that's what a lot of people...
That's so crazy. Like, how does it feel? Did you expect that documentary to, like, just blow up? Like, I feel like it's a staple. It's, like, a part of Milwaukee forever.
It's crazy that it became that because I'm at the point with the YouTube algorithm where I really am not sure when something is going to go big or kind of flop. And I thought right before I posted, I'm just like, you know what? Does anyone really give a shit about a story in Milwaukee? Like, we're always kind of a city that people sleep on. I'm like, we'll see what it does. But I wasn't like, oh, this is going to be the craziest video of the year, you know?
Yeah, and like, how did you feel filming that? Like, I got to ask you, bro. I went through your YouTube. I seen a lot of your videos. Like, do you have any fears? Like, are you ever scared or questioning these situations you're putting yourself in? Like, is it any time that you get scared, or do you always just say, fuck it?
I would say one of my superpowers is I feel like I'm pretty comfortable going just about anywhere. I've gone to a lot of places where I'm like the only guy that's like me. I've lived with the tribe in the jungle of Ecuador. I've gone to Skid Row. I've gone to Oblak. But as far as if I get scared, there's definitely videos that the drive there, I'm just like practicing my breathing techniques, just like, and just trying to get as comfortable and calm as possible. As soon as I pull up, like if I have a connection that's meeting me there, it's pretty risk-free to me. That one, I barely knew. The one guy that invited me, I barely knew. And then I was interviewing guys that I'd never met before. So I didn't know what to expect. I was scared that they were going to try and flex too hard for the video and actually crash and hurt somebody or hurt themselves. And I was going to capture that on camera. But as soon as like you feel the transfer of energy, even though those kids were pretty wild and reckless, it was a pretty laid back experience.
Nice.
Yeah.
Yeah, and shout out to you for just even, being who you are, going over there and doing what you do. Like, I don't know anybody that's like that. You know what I mean?
And Tommy, I'm kind of curious too. I think there might be a correlation in just kind of that. And then basically, if you have a dream, if you have something like you really want to do, like facing your fears.
Yes,
you know what I mean?
I have oftentimes found that behind fear is a door that opens and huge opportunities are behind there. And I always look at it like I'm an old man on my deathbed. Like I want to be able to say I went after it. I did it. I didn't leave any stone unturned.
Well, and what's crazy too is I kind of did a deep dive on you because I kind of wanted to see, what you're about. And I was looking through some of your old tweets. And I found a tweet from you in like 2016 and you were talking about, one day I want to have big balls and go on adventures for my life, like my lifestyle. And dude, you like straight up called it. And there was a couple of tweets just following that one where you're like, yo, I want like to make a documentary someday or something like that. Just general shit.
Yeah.
But that was in 2016 and you're just doing it now. Like that's crazy. That's awesome, man.
It's interesting how the dominoes kind of align and how things kind of fall into place at the right time. And I think, for much of my content, it was prank videos. And I did have fun in that period. Right. I just do not feel it anymore. Like, I don't know if I'll make another one. Like if an idea really speaks to me, maybe, but I have so many ideas of interesting or crazy shit that I can capture and that I think I have access to go do that it just like, I just feel like a new sense of this is it. Like this is the path. This is the foreseeable future of YouTube for me.
Yeah. And like, how do you like come up with these like ideas as far as like the pranks were already crazy? But like these boots on the ground journalism ideas, like what makes you think to go like, oh, I'm gonna go to an Amish village, or I'm gonna go to Skid Row and just interview homeless people and stuff? Like, where does that inspiration come from? I
think I've always just been an incredibly curious person. I've read books in a million different directions of content and styles, and I just am always thinking. And now that kind of the gears are turning for this, like even in the car ride back from Arkansas yesterday, we were probably thinking of 10 or 15 ideas that we want to hit. Like, and we know the next trip we're going to first visit the poorest county in America, which is in West Virginia or Kentucky. Like three out of the top 4 are pocketed right there. And then right after that, we're going to meet with $100 million man in Atlanta. And then it's like, okay, so now based on geography, what else can we sprinkle in there? Where are the stops we can make before or after? And I feel alive. Like I love people, and I think there's so many people that just want to share their story. And I was talking to, if you guys are familiar with Certified Trapper, he was the guy in one of the latest videos, and he's going to be a character coming on in more videos, and it's going to be nothing to do with street shit. I'm going to take him to see a beekeeper pretty soon, and we're going to be surrounded by 50,000 bees, and I think it's going to be hilarious to see him do that. But
Certified's wild, bro.
He is a wild guy. But what was interesting to me is like, I think there's a lot of kids that grew up like I did, like super white suburbs, that are fascinated by seeing what's it like in the hood. But then on the other end, he was like, I want you to do more redneck shit because I want to see that. And it made me realize, like, I think we're all kind of curious about each other, and we each want to see what the other can't. Man.
Especially like these really interesting, like you're talking about was like an Amish witch you were going to, and like some other stuff too. It's just like, dude, I have no idea what that even means, but it sounds interesting.
Yes.
So like, as far as you mentioned Certified Trapper and stuff, are you like tapped in with a lot of Milwaukee rappers? Do you listen to a lot of Milwaukee rappers, or?
Milwaukee rappers are not going to be happy with me when I say it is hard for me to find an artist here that I have on my playlist. The style of the rap, just certain music speaks to you, the way, like from the beats to the way that I don't know, it just doesn't hit me.
I feel that.
I have a lot of rappers that I've been in contact with, like comedian guys like 414 Bankhead or Big Frank, and I'm cheering for all of them just because I don't listen. Like they don't have to watch my videos if they're, just like I'm not listening to their shit maybe, but I'm cheering for them. I hope they blow up. I want the city to see good things. But when you can just feel it when you play something if it hits you or it doesn't. And I'm sorry, but
I'm gonna send you some of my music, bro. I feel like you'll like some of my music, man.
Perfect.
I don't rap like most of Milwaukee.
It's a
rappers.
very interesting style. Like I haven't seen it anywhere else, and like maybe a little bit in the Detroit pocket, like the slap rap there. There's a few songs I like, but I'm still waiting for the guy that's gonna knock my socks off.
What do you listen to then, like just on a normal daily basis, like on your way here? Do you listen to music, podcasts? What's up?
The two biggest artists I listen to right now are Kevin Gates and Russ.
Okay.
And I like them all because like they make music that you can cry in the shower to, you can fuck to, you can celebrate to, you can do a drive-by to. Not that I do that, but I like that energy of feeling like I would if I,
Yeah.
So that, and then I do listen to a lot of podcasts. Lex Freeman, Joe Rogan, Theo Von, guys like that.
I love Theo Von.
That are just endlessly fascinating,
Yeah.
Because I seen, so I went all the way down to your YouTube, and I seen you experimented in making music, like, 6 years ago or something, 6-7 years ago. What like sparked that in you to just start making music? Was that like your first like intro to like entertainment and YouTube and stuff?
Yes. I've always been kind of trying to be the class clown and trying to do little pranks and stuff like that from even a little kid. But as far as the first things I really put out for people to see was music. And I really enjoyed doing that. I did that for maybe 5 or 6 years. I haven't put out a song in 2 or 3 years. I actually just performed at a Redneck, Arkansas concert 2 nights ago, and I had a lot of fun. But when I look myself in the mirror, do I think I'm going to sell out a stadium with my music? Probably not. So like I feel like it's kind of an assessment of what are my gifts and what I think is actually a potential path. And I might make a song. I think me and Certified Trapper actually might make a song, but I don't think, as far as all the really good artists that are out there right now, I don't think Tommy G is going to be at the top of the playlist any day. You
never know, man.
So Tommy, me and Liam are artists, and I feel like I kind of resonated with you just on a journalism aspect, just because I feel like all three of us have this need or this want that we have something to say.
Sure.
And we have a story to tell, whether it's our story or whether it's someone else's story. So I think that's also like a little connection as well.
100%. And I think that's what I think makes the documentary so easy is some of the stuff is hard to film because it's illegal or maybe because people are ashamed. Like I want to do day in the life of a guy in a trailer park, but who's going to volunteer to let me do that? I don't know. I'm sure we'll find someone soon, but for the most part, people want to share their story. And if you give them a chance to speak, you get people yapping,
Yeah, so you seem like, you're pretty adventurous and always running around, going to Arkansas, going to Illinois, doing this video here, going here. In your downtime, in your free time, what do you catch Tommy G doing?
Dude, I kind of live like a grandpa in my free time. I mean, I go to my gym 4 to 6 days a week. During wrestling season, I do a lot of coaching. I coach all the way from 5-year-old kids all the way up to MMA fighters on their takedowns. But for the most part, I mean, I love my house. I love my fiance. I love my puppy. I love reading. So I just like to relax. I like to cook. I'm working a lot too. Between real estate and YouTube, my time is like I'm putting my pedal to the metal, and it feels good. It doesn't really feel like work. Whereas when I got fired from my last corporate job in February, and I'm surprised it took that long for them to fire me, I just felt like I was dying inside some of the time.
That's how I was too, bro.
And now it's like, dude, there's definitely still stressful things to work with, but it feels like I am carving my own path and really making it happen, and it just is a wonderful feeling because it's taken years of struggle to get here.
It's always feels better to work for yourself than work for somebody else.
And I don't think people realize, like, they see, YouTubers that have achieved success, they see artists that have achieved success, and they think it's like an overnight thing. And I don't know if it's the media that portrays that way, or if it's just our culture, or we just want to believe that one day all it takes is you to be on TV and like you're gonna blow up. But it takes years and years of like doing this and cultivating these skills and doing different things, because like YouTubers, you got to be good at marketing, you got to be good at interviews, you got to be good at camera stuff, you got to be good at everything. So it's kind of like,
and I think what I've learned along the journey is trying to control as much of the output as possible. When I first started filming videos, someone would film and edit for me, and then there was always a bottleneck of, I want this video to come out, but then is this guy going to do it in 2 weeks, 3 weeks? I don't know. So as soon as COVID hit, I bought a MacBook. I said, I'm going to learn how to edit. And from that point on, I've edited nearly all of my videos. There's some special effects, like the Kia Boys video. I edited all of it except for special effects that were put in by another guy that was collaborating with me. And now I'm getting to a point with the longer videos. It probably takes a week and a half to 2 weeks for me to edit a 15-minute video. And so now I have to start, I'm building my team of like, okay, I'm going to send this one to Miguel. I'm going to send this one to Jabin. I'm going to do this one because I want to try and put out a video once a week and eventually bring someone on full time that we're traveling the world, the country, and filming really cool stuff.
So like, do you have a cameraman that travels with you? Who's your cameraman?
It moves around. In Milwaukee, it's my jiu-jitsu teammate, Ellis. He's the guy that most of the ballsy stuff I've done, he goes there and does that.
I was wondering because I was like, well, the cameraman got to have some balls too. Who is the cameraman?
Yeah, I remember at the beginning of the year, he texted me. He's like, I've been doing a lot of hazardous stuff. Do you think I could get a raise? Because this is intense. I'm like, yeah, man, you can have a raise. And then most recently, a guy that I partner with to do real estate, he did the Arkansas trip with me, and he done some filming stuff in college. And the amount of firearms he had pointed at him in St. Louis was fucking crazy, dude.
That's
so we pulled up on this.
Scary.
I didn't know until afterwards that they were called the Artillery Gang, but they backed up their name.
Wow.
And it was mostly under 18-year-old kids. Between them, probably like 25 guns and like a dozen or 15 kids. Just like the craziest guns I've ever seen, and no gun safety awareness. Like there was a couple of times where if he was pointing a gun towards the camera, I was just like, dude, like I get it, I get it. It's pretty cool, but like no one's trying to die.
To be honest, we just had a video shoot here of Views. It was literally, I think it was last week. Someone came in here, you know, they got all their guns and shit, bunch of wild niggas, and fucking some guy's gun literally at the beginning of the video shoot, he puts in his pocket and it goes off. And thank God nobody got hit. He didn't get hit.
He's lucky.
Just a hole in his pocket. But I was like, damn, like if you guys are going to have these guns and stuff, at least have them on safety or don't have any bullets in them when you're shooting music videos because you're pointing them at around in the air and stuff. And
dude, this is one of the things, like I see this in so much gangster rap. Like it's so predictable. It's wave your gun around like you're going to do a close-up of you puffing weed. Maybe there's a girl twerking behind you. And I get it. Like if you want to show, like rep your set, show what you're made of. I get it in a video or two, but like let's get creative here. Like let's do something new. Like because it seems like every video looks the same. And it's like, I get it. You're going to kill me. You're going to kill everyone else. You're going to smoke weed and girls twerking. Nice butt, by the way. But like, let's get some more fresh things going. In the rap world.
Yeah, I seen you went to the strip club too for the first time when you were 28.
Yeah.
So what was the hold off? Why did you never have an interest in going to the strip club?
It just never sounded like something. It just seemed sad, honestly. It seemed like kind of a depressing place to go. Yeah. Like I was just expecting to walk in and just like a bunch of creepy like dudes were in there, and then I don't know what the situation of the women. And now that I'm kind of getting more aware of it, it seems like there's some high scale clubs and like women that make a great living, and whatever you do to make your buck, perfect. But I never really enticed me. Like if someone is interested in me for free, cool, let's talk. But I was never thinking like I'm gonna pay you $150 so you pretend to like me for 15 minutes. You know what I mean?
Yeah, man, that strip club stuff. Every time I go to the strip club, bro, the next day and I check my money and I'm like, I threw all this at a girl. Like basically just gave it away for charity. I would have rather done something way more productive with that money.
I've never been to the strip club and nobody can prove otherwise.
You're not.
You've never been to the strip club?
Nope.
Let me just say, I will confess though.
That's right, Mom.
That I kind of enjoyed it.
Hey.
I kind of enjoyed it.
I mean, shit.
I enjoy the music. The music is why I go.
I enjoyed the booty.
Yeah,
it was.
But I've never been, so I wouldn't know what the music sounds like.
But you know, my girl always wants me to lay, but you know, I'm in a relationship, so.
The only way you can. So that's one thing. Shout out to, well, I call her Sweet Cheeks. I have the coolest girlfriend ever. Like the fact that she lets me do some of these things. things, and I'm just
Right,
like I'm
like-
okay if she says no.
Is she really supportive about what you
Oh
do?
yeah, and she watched, like I showed her some of the footage from the strip club, and then she just laughed at me. She's like, "You had no idea what you were doing in there," and I'm like, "I tried my best," you know.
Yeah, how long have you guys known each other?
2 years.
2
When
years?
COVID hit, she was my upstairs neighbor in a duplex I was living in. And I'd seen her, we lived in the same place for like 3 years, but we would talk to each other. Oh, we'd see each other out shoveling. Or
Yeah.
like every once in a while. And then when we were on lockdown, I texted her, I'm like, I think I'm going to go crazy. Like, can we just meet on the front porch and hang out? And she's like, sure. And then slowly but surely, I mean, I even pretended to like Sudoku just to spend time with her. Like anything that she,
Wow.
you know, like anything that would like get my foot in the door to hang out with her, I was
Aw,
doing it.
man.
And then worked a little magic, and we're getting
It's
married in
romantic.
October.
Wow,
Congratulations,
congratulations,
man.
dude. That's
Congratulations, man.
huge.
So I have a question for you, just
Of course.
because I always wonder this about anybody. Are you a conspiracy theorist?
When I first started smoking weed in high school, I was way more of a conspiracy theorist than I am now. I think there's a lot of dirty shit. I think there's a lot of corrupt politicians. I do not trust our government. I think you kind of have to go piece by piece. It's almost like, to me, it's I look at conspiracies the way I look at police shootings in America.
Yes.
Let's go case by case. Like Eric Garner, that's fucking bullshit. That guy should be locked up. No offense in Milwaukee, but Sylvia Smith, have you guys ever watched that video?
Yeah.
He's turning around with a Uzi, and it was
Yeah.
shot by a black cop. Like, I don't understand
Yeah.
like why there was a riot about
And
that.
that was just, wild. I remember that my dad was literally about to move right next to that gas station, and then that happened the same week.
Burned down.
And it was like, yeah, we're not moving no more.
So are there conspiracies that I believe in? I guess we have to go one by one, but like, of course, like the Epstein thing is so crazy that that's just not a news story anymore. We're not
Yeah.
investigating Prince Andrew or Harry, whichever one it is, or Bill Clinton, or anyone that was on that flight log. We should be zoomed in on that. But I don't want to ramble. I don't know if there's
Yeah.
anyone specific you want me to.
Do you believe in flat Earth?
No.
Okay.
So that's where, like, there's a conspiracy where it goes to just like kind of plain retarded, and I feel like flat Earth is almost in that category.
Well,
Are you a flat earther? I don't mean to offend
I'm not
you.
a flat earther, but I can see why people think the Earth is flat.
I could see why if we didn't have modern technology, but unfortunately we do. So I feel like,
Or
was the moon landing
anyone,
fake?
Anyone who's ever been on a flight too.
I think so.
Maybe that video isn't very conclusive, and I do have a question of like, how were we able to do it in the '60s, but then all of a sudden like everything we send up now blows up?
Yeah.
Or I mean, but we've had some successful missions too.
Yeah,
We'll
I
see.
don't know. The moon landing, like, what even is the moon? I don't even know.
Well, I can show you if we go outside.
It
at
could
night.
just be a projector in the sky. I don't know.
Yeah.
The thing about conspiracies is when you, like, if it's like 2 or 3 people run the conspiracy, I can buy into it. But like if you need buy-in from thousands and thousands of people talk too much, people aren't sophisticated enough.
Yeah.
I feel like those kind of fell apart.
Yeah.
And
Tommy, I have a question for you.
Sure.
So what advice would you give any people or any young people or sorry, let me back that up. What advice would you give any YouTubers starting up?
First, I would say figure out the type of content that you would love to make, that you would be willing to make for free for up to a year or two, because chances are you're not going to make $1. Like if you're doing this to get rich, good luck. But if you're doing it because you love the content, people are going to feel that, and it might be a slow process. I mean, and things get exponential on the platform. It took me a little over 3 years to get 80,000 subscribers. And in the last month and a half, I've gotten 60,000 subscribers. And so it's like, and you don't know when the powder keg is going to happen. But I enjoy doing these videos enough that there's been a lot of times doing it where I'm breaking even or doing it for free or even paying a little bit to do the video. And I do want to turn this into a massive business as well, so that I can do very cool things in the city. I have some projects I'm working on right now, but do something that you'd be willing to do for free, and then be a student of the game. Like, treat yourself like a professional. Show up every day to work, edit, study the best creators in your niche, study other creators that you think do cool transitions or this or that, but like become a black belt in what you want to do.
are you a black belt?
I'm a purple belt.
Purple belt?
Yeah.
Okay. Well, man. Any more questions for him?
Nah, I think that's it.
Yeah, I think that's it too. Tommy G, man.
Awesome
thanks for
interview.
coming
Thanks-
through,
yeah, thanks for
dropping
stopping
these
by, Tommy.
gems. We really appreciate you making the time.
Of course, fellas.
What should people be on the lookout for? What's next from Tommy G?
The next 3 video. Well, I'm dropping one tonight. This is what is it? Thursday, the 14th.
14th.
Time is moving. I explored a sewer in an abandoned mall, Northridge Mall. That was really fun. And then I got most dangerous city in America. Day in the life of a farmer. I got to shoot an AK-47 on a rice farm. That was really fun.
Nice.
But just that. I guess the last thing I'd leave people with is if you have connections to really interesting people, I don't know if they're Amish or a white supremacist or Black Panther, I don't care what category of people they're in. If they're a graffiti artist, they do underground punk shows in a secret rave house. Like, I don't care.